Good afternoon and welcome to Padre's Ponderings. We are live.
Live today as opposed to...
We had 2 weeks off where we were pre-recorded.
Yep.
So we are live today. So if you have any questions for Padre, now's your chance.
Whoa, wide open shot there, huh? Wide open shot there. Yeah. Are we going to do live next week?
We did it last year. So
I think
perhaps, if you don't know, next week we'll be on location.
On location.
A different locale in the Low Country.
Yep. At the eye doctor a while ago, and a young lady was doing the visual field screening test. You ever have that one done? Doing that for me, and she asked if I was the pastor at Cross Schools. And I said, I'm one of them. She said, my little one is there.
Oh.
A year and a half in the preschool. Said, we just love Cross Schools. And I was a 5-month-old. Can't wait till he could get there. And they moved here from California.
Oh, wow.
Been here about a year now. Said just couldn't make it out there. Now they were both born in California, but said it's changed so much that it's just, young people can't afford to be there.
Mm-mm.
Just can't. I guess if you were in some big thing, but if you're just blue collar kind of hard working people like that, said you just can't make it there financially. Don't know why they ended up here on a whole different coast, but they love the trees and just everything is different.
Very different, yeah.
Everything is
Bugs
different.
are different.
But she was very capable. I was surprised she had 2 children. She didn't, and I told her, I said, "You're well preserved, honey. You don't look like you're old enough to have children, But she's a really special lady, very kind and considerate, and very professional. Very professional.
Well, it really is amazing when you start talking to people. There's a couple that was at church a few weeks ago, and their family goes to Cross as well, and they moved from California. But just to find out what brought you here. Most people, it's because they've been on vacation in this area once or twice in the past, and they're looking for a change, and you go to where you enjoyed. Mm-hmm. So oftentimes you enjoyed being on vacation, so you want to keep that.
She was doing the thing, you have the little button that you push,
The air is a puff of air, that type of
this is the dots on the screen, and you push the button each time the dot comes up, So
did you pass?
I don't know. They don't tell you.
They don't tell you.
It's one of those kind of tests. They did it twice, so I'm suspicious. But when we started out, I had to call her back. I said, "This buzzer isn't working, because it makes a noise." And she looked at it and she turned it around. I was holding it wrong. Try it now, she said, in a very kind, polite.
A very kind, gentle way.
Kind, gentle way. Help the old man out. He's holding it by the wrong end. But I'm glad to have her there and glad to know that she loves the school. They do a great job.
And they are out this week. They got out on Friday. This is teacher work week, so there's a lot less activity, but I haven't been in the hallway today. I'm sure there's a lot of activity inside. And lots of packing up classrooms and things because they're going to be shifting some areas this summer. So.
And the year-round programs are running. Little people are all
the
out
summer
there.
program is running, right?
All that's cranked up now.
Yeah.
A lot of children involved in that too.
Yeah. So I was just thinking as we were sitting here, it's about time to pull out the I'm excited hat.
Might even use it in my video tomorrow.
Oh,
making a video tomorrow. That will be my e-news for this week. I hadn't thought about that. I just might like to find that hat.
Bring back the I'm excited hat, because there's some things upcoming.
Yeah, we got the Father's Day thing. I'll talk about that. Resuming our worship services, mostly like we had before. The huge need for volunteers in that. Sunday school, got to have volunteers in that. VBS, after the 20th, we go from 0 to 60, just like that. Good thing we're in the summertime, because there's a little bit less going on in the summertime than the wintertime and fall and all that, but not much. So we'll be hitting high speed. Big need for volunteers. One of the concerns I might talk about in the video tomorrow, is that people are used to now the streaming and not being involved, and a few people can pull that off. But boy, when we start cranking, we'll keep the streaming going. But all the in-person stuff takes a ton of volunteers, so that'll be big. That'll be really big. So I'll talk about that tomorrow too.
And you're going to talk in your video about, a lot of people have questions about communion. One question came over the phone today, was, are you still going to mail out wafers even when you come, even when service is open fully and you're coming back to the rail? Yes, we are still going to have mail out wafers. We send them to Texas, Minnesota.
We built a whole streaming congregation out there, a virtual congregation out there. And that'll continue on. We're not, because we can come back in person, doesn't mean we're just going to shut all that down and cut those folks out. Not one bit in the world.
I loved the email I got from our small congregation in Connecticut, and they sit and watch together now with their group of friends, because their church is still not open. So we definitely will be sending wafers to Connecticut for our friends up there.
Yeah, and wherever. But that's important. But one of the things we ought to realize, though, is that watching services online, that's there for the times you need to do that, and you don't have a choice. But online worship, for those who are in this area, is not a substitute for coming together in person and being a part of the fellowship of the body of Christ. They're not the same thing at all. The streaming stuff we do is a great substitute. It's a great alternative, but it's not a replacement for that. The body of Christ is a body that's hooked together, and you touch people. But
there's something about being in community, and you can only do so much online as a community. Right. So, looking forward to some of the programs. I got an email this week from Anna Fuller about Friendly Faces, the nursing homes and retirement communities are opening back up and allowing people to come in, and so that's a ministry that has been on hold for, obviously, during this whole time. So if you are a friendly person and you enjoy making a connection with somebody, that's a ministry that's going to be starting up. That'll be in the e-news coming up in either this week or next week, about how to get involved with that ministry, going and visiting people that are shut in or unable to come out to have community. That's a big ministry, and it's called Friendly Faces, because that's exactly what you are. You're a friendly face and coming in.
Docents will be starting back up again probably in July.
Mitch Brock is working on the planning and scheduling of that. How many days we'll be able to be open and have the church open. I know that that's been something that a lot of visitors have really missed during this time, is being able to come in and see the historic campus.
But again, that hinges on volunteers.
People. So the number of days and hours open is dependent on how many people we have to be a docent.
And that is such a glorious facility there. And people are very interested in it. So.
And that's how some of our members became members, was by visiting the church.
Through the docent program.
Dan and Sandy Wade. They came just to visit the church, new to the area, and were surprised to learn, like most people are, that we actually are a running church that has services. Most people think it's more of a museum.
That's right.
So they showed up at 5:28 and hadn't left.
And many of churches that are that age are museums now, sadly,
Right.
sad to say.
And that's probably why that thought is
Sure.
there. So we'll be selling honey back on that campus again with the docents, and that's always a fun story too.
Cookbooks.
Cookbooks. So things are cranking back up.
Looking to have river baptism sometime in August.
Yes, that's exciting.
Baptizing folks and folks recommitting themselves to their baptismal vows out there in the river. Probably have to do it though. I saw the various dates that were options for the tide to be right. Might well have to be on a weeknight this year. There's so much traffic now that the park is open down there. The Wright Family Park right across the street from the historic campus. There's so much traffic, car-wise and people-wise, foot traffic and all. It's getting very complicated now. Folks are even talking about the need to move the grace time service on Saturday afternoon from over there to over here because there's no parking and people around the outside of the church making noise and inconsiderate. And, so the world's changing.
So that's something you'll have to ponder.
Yeah, we'll be working
pray
on that.
about
There's
for sure,
no decision on that, but that seems to be in the offing. But we'll have to alter schedules around it. But that's where the river baptism is. We might have to move that, like you do it on Sunday afternoon in the past, but that may not be a practical thing to do now. Got the big boat dock out there, so you got boats everywhere.
But glad to have that service back
Oh yeah.
after not having it last summer. So that'll be nice
Yep.
once we get that date out. So if you're interested in that, we baptize all ages,
And recommit.
very young to very old.
One of the special things about that service is when you have some families go out there with their little ones and the parents recommit themselves at the same time the little ones are being baptized. It's a very special family service for singles and families and all the rest of it. So great time, sometime in August, don't know the date yet.
So stay tuned for that. Thank you for your sermon on Sunday.
A lot of good feedback on that sermon. It really was. Praise God. Pharisee and the tax collector, little Jack Horner and you. Yep. And that's online. People can watch that.
Absolutely. Yes. And then this weekend you'll be at the historic campus. And then you're working on your message for the celebration, I guess.
This weekend on the historic campus, 10 pivotal words from John 14, 1-7. So that's on the historic campus this weekend, over here the weekend after that. And then I'm working on a sermon for the 20th. And remember, on the 20th, when we have that Father's Day celebration, there's no other services that weekend. Not at all. Everything's going to be there on this, right over here at 10:30, and you've got to sign up ahead of time for the catering and also for the space that's there. We can only handle 600 people, and half of those are already gone now, so you need to get on the stick with that. And it will be streamed if you can't get in. So, and I believe it'll be a blessing. I really do.
We haven't shared a meal together in a very long time. My goodness. Did you guys used to do potlucks or covered dish or anything way back?
Wednesday nights, we used to have that supper and teaching on the historic campus.
But
on
was it
Wednesday
covered
nights.
dish?
No. You know, you can't do covered dish stuff now
know.
because of the liability stuff.
Isn't that sad?
Sorry. One of the churches in the area was sued. They had a hot dog, hamburger cookout thing, and somebody got sick on a hamburger, a member of the church, and they sued the church over that.
That's another story.
That's another story.
There's a lot to unpack right there.
That's another story. Yeah, but as you know, we're in a different.
Yeah, that
we're
was
in a
that
very
was
litigious
huge.
Situation.
In my growing up, we would have. I don't remember what was it, the annual meeting or something, or did we do it quarterly?
There was any opportunity, homecoming, whatever it was. Everybody would make their favorite dishes and run them out on those long tables like that.
The homemade fried chicken, the big 9 by 13 Pyrex dish of macaroni and cheese.
All kinds of things there, desserts, everything. But that's
And
part,
everybody would bring like their thing.
yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, we had it at Church of the Ascension in Terza. Used the Grange Hall a lot in down south for that.
Mrs. Young's lemon tarts were the best.
Very special. Very special, but it's we're just too big for that.
We are too big for that. But this will be the similar concept.
Yeah, similar concept, sure. Except it's being catered. So.
Yeah.
And there's no cost to it, just come. Come in fellowship, we'll have communion in the worship service, and then we'll be all around the tables, and it'll be wonderful. 10:30 and is when it starts, and we'll be through. Everything should be all wound up by noon. So my sermon will be a little bit shorter that day, and it'll be fine. Great music lined up. Be good.
And communion.
And
like
communion.
You're actually going to walk up.
We're going to walk up and get a wafer. Now, we'll still have the wafers in the packets. If you feel uneasy about it, you get the wafer in the packet. But if you're all right, get the wafer, and there'll be a chalice there, and you can dip it in the chalice. And then back to your seats. And we'll say our prayers together. Be great. Be great.
You know,
It'll be a stand-up communion, though.
Over the past, I guess we're going on 16 months now, you've come to really appreciate the little things.
Mm-hmm.
Before going up to communion, you were appreciative, but in a different way. Now, I would imagine there are going to be some tears the first time people go, for sure, go up for communion for the first time.
Yep.
After so long.
I think it'll be
just the things that are
particularly true the
important.
Sunday after that.
Coming to the rail.
When you come to the rail and kneel to receive it on both campuses, that'll be, it's a very special part of the service. And I've missed that. I really have.
The things before that we took for granted, our eyes have been open to really being appreciative of the little things, seeing somebody's face.
Yep.
Seeing somebody wearing lipstick. It's just the most bizarre thing. You're like, oh my gosh, I love your lipstick. I hope you're not saying that, but.
I didn't notice. I know she had on a different
I do.
skirt today.
Yeah,
But
you are always very observant about clothing.
I didn't notice about the lipstick. Do you have lipstick on?
I do have on lipstick.
do?
I don't wear really bright colors, but I saw someone for the first time, and I was like, oh my goodness, I haven't seen your face.
See, that'll be one thing that we'll be out to be working on when you're doing communion at the rail. The chalice bearer has the purificator.
Yes, we're going to have to go back to scrubbing linens.
You know, come up there and got to wipe that lipstick off of it. Tough.
But we're
Yep.
dipping
Yep.
now. So.
We're dipping. Yep. Lipstick and pancake makeup, all those kind of things.
It's tough on the linens.
Oh, yeah. But be glad to have it back. Be glad afterward with those problems.
Yeah. So we thank you so much. We've got people on each campus that are working on the serving schedules for after the 20th, so the 26th and beyond, about having chalice bearers and the number of ushers and greeters and everything that crucifer. We haven't had that in a long time. Torch bearers. So if you're interested in serving, there was a little click a button last week on the e-news. That'll be on there again this week. If you're already serving, you don't need to do that. But if you're interested in joining a team, then please just click that you would like to. And then Karen Hurst and Sally Brock and myself, several other people are going to be reaching out to those people that responded to say, okay, here's what's available. Where would you like to be plugged in?
Need technology volunteers too.
We need technology volunteers. Yep. Britton is watching right now. She's going to be here this summer helping out in different areas. Thank you, Britton. We're excited about you coming too. You might get a hand at technology as well.
There you go. She's into all that.
Yep.
She's there with that. That's great. Great.
But lots of areas. Food bank this week was rolling. I think 140 families came through this week. 300 and something bags were donated. So because we're moving around and going back to different things, we can't forget about the food bank and the needs of the food bank. So look for the needs for this week. They'll be in the e-news and on the loop. That changes every week for what's needed. And I know God's Goods is still in need of some people to volunteer. So if you're interested in God's Goods,
5 days a week now?
they are not back open to full capacity that they were pre-COVID yet. Still limited, and that's based on the number of volunteers, because that's 100% volunteer.
Yep.
So, but they're doing amazing stuff over there.
And all that money goes to outreach, goes to mission stuff. Just wonderful, wonderful.
I'm working on the mission page on the website. It's under construction right now, so you can't see it, but putting pictures of all the different ministries that are touched by God's Goods and the moms group. It's amazing. It is amazing. We're talking global.
That's right. That's right.
Global outreach, and even within our own community and the diocese and all over. So.
Yep. Very special.
It's pretty amazing. So when you go to God's Goods and you buy something, it's not just a trinket for you.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. So go buy more. Or donate more.
Yeah, because that runs on donations. Everything that goes through there has been given by somebody. And then whatever proceeds come is given to somebody. Pretty neat how that works.
Mm-hmm.
So what you want to know from me?
I was just thinking, I don't know.
I wrote down a thing in the front of my book today.
Oh, okay, that's always big news. When you write down, is it a quote?
Yes.
Okay.
A quote by me.
Okay.
Did you want to know what it
I
is?
do want to. What did you write down? Is it going to become a sermon?
It might. It might. It's this whole idea about opinions and truth. And have you noticed one of the casualties in COVID times has been truth?
Absolutely.
Has been truth. And now in all the media stuff, newspapers, everything else like that, we're so far down the trail that opinion is accepted as truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I have found that those who have an opinion about everything seldom know the truth about anything.
That is very true.
That's worthy of being a tattoo if you're into that kind of stuff. But
That's true.
just watch. I mean, people have opinion about everything, but it is not based on truth.
Mm-mm. Because
they believe truth is centered in themselves, and if I believe it, then it's true. But there is truth, and truth just lays out there naked. There it is, and then it's up to you to deal with it. See, not reshape it, not contort it, not redefine it, not embellish it. Anything else? There's the truth. See? But we have a hard time dealing with truth, with facts, that kind of stuff. We really do. We'd much rather live in a world of our own making and our own fashioning, and look at it through the glasses that we choose to wear, the lens of perception that we choose to have, than to look at it in reality. So, got a good, in the thing today, this weekend, 10 pivotal words. I'm the way and the truth and the life. I've got a story about that in there. Got several stories in there. Good stories, I may say so.
That's very true, though.
Oh,
So
God.
then when you present someone with the truth, a lot of times, just like in that Tom Cruise movie, you can't handle the truth. I mean, that is where we are now. And I think as Christians, we have to really, we have got to have that firm foundation as you stand up for truth.
Yep.
So we don't become a casualty in the culture, conforming, and it's hard. It's a struggle for sure.
Yep.
But the rapid decline of truth, and
If people see something in writing, even if it's on your watch or something, if they see something in print, it's true. If they have someone say something to them, it's true. So there's no effort to dig deeper, not on the part of the sayer or the hearer. You accept it as true, as face value. And that is such a disservice to the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So,
This week, my Bible study, we're working on Proverbs.
some good stuff in Proverbs.
Wisdom, yeah. All right, well, this weekend, our registration opened for services on the historic campus and at the chapel this morning. So go ahead and register, and right above the registration for this weekend is the registration for the celebration service. So you can knock it all out at one time.
But
So
don't
excited about
register
that.
for the celebration service unless you're coming to the celebration service, because you'll be taking a seat from somebody
This
who
is
wants
true.
to be there. So if you're just thinking about coming, don't register. If you know you're coming, register.
Commitment.
Right? Commitment.
If you're committed, then please sign
Commitment.
up. Please sign up. And there's a
Commitment.
children's program that has a separate registration, so that so Michael Ann knows how many to plan for, but the meal is also included with that for the kids.
So the registration for the children's program is not on that same page where
It's on the same page, but it's a different link.
okay. So if you're registered to come to the parent part of it, I guess is what you're saying. If you come to that, that's one place. If you've got children, you register them separately.
And that's so that we know how many children's meals to purchase, because there's a whole different menu for the kids. It's boneless chicken wings, and Rod's got it all worked out for them. And to make sure we have enough people working.
So that's important. So if you're a mom and dad and 2 children, when you're signing up for the celebration, you don't sign up for 4. You sign up for 2, and you go to the children's tab and sign up for 2.
Yes.
That's good. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Very good.
You don't have to worry about that, so
Nope.
all good. But I think 320 people have already registered for the celebration.
Counting
so
down, 280 left.
There you go. There you go. So go ahead and take care of that.
Yep.
And looking forward to seeing you next week on location
On location. Amen.
in more casual attire.
Maybe.
Oh. He will not be
Perhaps.
wearing blacks.
No, I won't be.
It'll be a little hot.
Won't be. It's going to be, somebody, I think your mama said it was going to be in the 90s this week.
It's supposed to be in the 90s this week, yes.
You know
which
what
I
happens
love.
when the temperature gets in the 90s around here? You start seeing the tail lights. All the cowards bail out, heading north.
Everybody leaves. I don't
Heading
know.
north. Yep. Yeah.
Snowbirds.
Mm-hmm.
Snowbirds.
You could call them that if you want to, but they just, you got to stand tall to take care of August down here in the Low Country. That's
No
not
joke.
that's not for the weak. Not for the weak.
They used to aggravate Gigi, my grandmother,
What?
when people would complain about the heat in South Carolina in August. And she'd say, "It's South Carolina, what did you expect?" What did you
It's
expect?
that combination of heat and humidity.
Yeah.
But the good news is, we got air conditioning in our cars. We got
Praise
air
God.
conditioning in our houses, in our
There's
churches.
a breeze at the beach.
Yep. So
So
God is
we're
good.
all set.
God
all
is
right.
good.
All right.
And you saw what Phil Mickelson did this weekend? Won that big golf. Made me think about taking up golf again for a moment. Just a moment, though. just a moment.
It was an encouragement to my husband.
I tell you what, I watched part of that. It was really something, because I thought when they lined up to tee up, and there he was, and the young man next to him, I said, this is over here. This is over. But he consistently outdrove him and everything. It was amazing, just amazing. Must have been a pile of adrenaline flowing there. Must have been.
Had he won that before, the PGA?
I don't know. But he sure wanted to kill, and that's a beautiful place there too now. Here, whoa.
Many people go to play the ocean course and they stop playing golf after that. That's a tough course. So that's impressive.
And there was a pile of people there too.
Yes, the PGA clearly is done.
Yeah,
they had their celebration on Sunday.
Yeah, they are out of masking. There's no social distancing. Gone. Load them up. Doug Barone was there. He was
For
doing
work.
entertaining some people from work. I told him Sunday, I said, I looked for you, but I didn't see you, you know. Teresa Clark was there. She told me on Sunday she was there. I didn't see her either. But I didn't watch Saturday, so that's why I didn't see her probably. Yeah. But anyway, that's another story. All right, so you've been trying to end this for a minute now.
I have, sorry. Anything else you want to talk about?
That's all right. That's all right. So
go in peace to love and serve the Lord.
thanks be to God. See you when I see you, hopefully this weekend. Blessings to you. God loves you, and so do I.